Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Newport Centre. It's the PartyPoker.com World Cup of Pool, brought to you by Matchroom Sport. It's a race to 13, alternate breaks, the 45-second shot clock, and referee in charge of the action from South Wales is Nigel Rees. It's now time to meet our finalists. Would you firstly please welcome, from the Philippines, it's Efren Batarreas and Francisco Django Bastamente! And ladies and gentlemen, from the USA, it's the Rocket, Rodney Morris, and Earl the Pearl Strickland!
We have arrived in pool heaven. The #1 team in the world, Philippines, up against the 3rd seed here in the first ever PartyPoker.com World Cup of Pool, the Americans. As I said earlier, Kim, this is the final everybody wanted to see.
Well, coming in to this event, even before it started, there was a buzz in the air about Team Philippines meeting Team USA, and here we are.
Look at that lag by Bustamante there. Right tight against the cushion. The final, a race to 13 racks. And it'll be the Philippines
First rack,
to kick it off here in rack #1.
Philippines to break.
Fireworks assured.
Bustamante to break, and really, in the semifinal match, didn't break nothing like he did in his previous matches. He usually hits it and it pops up and stops in the middle. And there it is. That's any indication of the way he's going to break. It's going to be a difficult time for Team USA.
In a number of matches already, we've seen the lag prove very pivotal. So many Hill matches. And Efren with a very thin clip on this one into the side pocket to start.
He wants to come back up.
Well, so much so he couldn't even take it on. And if he wants to turn it into a chess game, he's the grandmaster, smiling. But you know the nerve endings are jingling in this one. It is a packed house here at the Newport Centre in the south of Wales.
Go ahead. Take your time.
I don't know if he's going to shoot it easy, but one rail easy. Lay up against it.
Off shot.
Well, Reyes with the right decision in the end.
Jim, I liked him just shooting it easy, trying to float on top of the one. And if he hits it, there might not even be a shot. I mean, it could have been, anything would be better than that. But, again, that's why I'm here, and they're out there.
Kim, you were saying earlier how tough this is going to be for Team USA to try and come into the lion's den here. A very partisan crowd in favor of these Asian superstars.
I think both teams are going to play very well. I really don't look for a lot of balls to be missed. These pockets are awful tight. When the pressure's on, you have to have total concentration. If you're not totally committed, you will pay for it.
Total purse of $250,000 on offer in the inaugural World Cup of Pool. $60,000 to the winning team. The runners-up will go home with $30,000.
Pot the 7 and pop back across for the 8.
Efren and Francisco went out, had a nice meal, relaxed, leading up to this final. They are as cool as cucumbers. And Django slots in the 9. It is a 1-0 lead in favor of the Philippines. They're off the mark first.
One rack.
Trailing 1 rack to 0.
Team Philippines 1. Team USA 0.
Hey, don't do it.
And that
Is disaster.
very bad roll.
Straight into the corner pocket with the cue ball. And I'll tell you what, Strickland, if he didn't know it already, he knows it now. He is going to have to deal with this crowd.
Thank you.
And they're going to be on him
Nice hit.
like white on rice.
Okay, Billy.
Basta palapitan.
Okay, angles on. Just bounce off and go back for the 3. Any spread of 2 games just gives the other team more confidence and more pressure on the team that's down. This could be a 2-0 lead if Team Philippines can just manage to run these remaining 6 balls.
Big shot right here, though, Kim. He's going to draw right back. This available to the side. And now Django, Francisco Bustamante, is going to have to try and slot this in and go around the back of the colors and back towards the middle of the table for the orange 5 next.
Shape is pretty much a given. He just has to make the ball on the side.
What a shot. What a shot for Bustamante there. That was probably the highest hurdle they were going to face in this rack.
So far, everything going Team Filipino's way, but I will say one thing. This is just the second game. We have a long way to go.
Only once in this event have we seen a lead of 3 racks or more evaporate. Whatever team has got out in front by 3 has gone on to win that match all but once. Hong Kong over Sweden in the very first round.
That's correct, Jim. We have to remember this is a race to 13 in the finals. They're not racing to 9. Bustamante to finish this rack off.
And that he does. 2-0. The Philippines lead Team USA. They swipe the break, and they'll be coming to the table in the 3rd.
Philippines to break, leading
Okay.
2 racks to 0.
Team Philippines leading 2 racks to 0. Efren to break. Could they make it 3 in a row? Well, the balls are spread open. Pot the 1 ball and get position on the 2, and they're on their way. Team Philippines couldn't have asked for a better start than this.
I couldn't agree more, Kim. This is going to do nothing to settle Earl Strickland into this match. And he really, for me, is he's the question mark on Team USA. He's the one that Rodney has to try and keep the reins on and keep him focused.
And as we've said before, the two hardest games to win is the first one and the last one, and Team USA yet to win their first one. Okay, one more shot to draw down for position for the 7, and this rack should be in the books.
Ensuring to leave the angle here.
Beautiful shot there. A little stun draw. What I mean by that is it didn't look like it was going to do anything, and just all of a sudden it took off drawing. I think Efren would have really liked to have hit this a little harder, but the angle seems to be on.
Looks like just straight back here. He should be able to just pinch a little of the pocket and come down the left-hand side of the table for the 9 bottom right.
Ooh, he used the whole pocket there.
Reyes would like to see a handful of these tonight. An easy 9 to the bottom of the pocket for a 3-0 advantage over the number 3 seeds.
Been
3 racks to 0.
Much better than Earl Strickland. Let's see if they can get a shot. Almost the duplicate of what happened to Earl. Well, they're going to get rolling.
I think they're okay here, Kim. I think he can see this one, and it is vital for them to get their first rack on the board.
No doubt. He didn't hit it enough. He understroked that.
Rodney Morris, born and raised in Hawaii. He said he grew up around a lot of Filipino people, so he feels very comfortable at home, really. Well, he's around a few here today.
He's going to shoot this shot. I believe he should. They must get on the board. They have to shoot their way out of this. Safety plays out of the question.
Great shot from Morris. What a shot on the 2 into a blind pocket. Worth another look.
Earl showing signs of nerves.
Very knowledgeable crowd, too, aren't they? Duly applauding that shot from Morris, even though they know that it might cost their heroes this rack.
Shot.
Another good shot.
What a shot. This team dearly needs to win this game and spend a little time at the table and get loose. Shoot 3 or 4 shots apiece. Big shot for the match here.
Needs that cue ball to stop.
No good.
That is no good.
Well, did it fall dead straight?
Thank you.
He doesn't have a lot of angle. You may have to try and force this, get off that side cushion and out the left-hand side.
Very tough pockets. Look at this shot.
Good up.
For you folks at home, that was just brilliant there. That's such a difficult shot.
You have no idea how tough that was. And Strickland made it look easy.
And just like that, 2 great shots in this rack, and Team USA is right back in it.
It was a vital rack for them. We've seen the Philippines 3-0 in front before. They've been pegged back, but they hadn't been beaten when they've been 3-0. Americans take their first rack. It is still 3-1 to Team Philippines. As they've been side by side, they've seen the finish line first every time. And Bustamante and Reyes are going to have to try and put their first notch in their cues here. It's Boosty to break. Rack number 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, Boosty has really got that break dialed in now. You can tell the first 2 breaks he's just parked that cue ball right in the middle. I don't believe we've seen one ball shot at and missed yet.
We expected a great standard, Kim, and we're not being disappointed.
Well, you have to remember, in the finals, everything changes, Jim. It's a whole different atmosphere. Everything's different. You just look at things different because you know you can't go on. This is it.
And all
The finals.
all these players live in the moment. What happened means nothing. How they got here means nothing. The fact that they're here is all that matters.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what kind of shot that was, but he sure wish he had it back.
Going to be very difficult for Efren to get ideal position from the red
I
3
think
to
he's
the
gonna
orange
play
5
safe.
here.
Unless I can't see, I think he's going behind the 6 and 8 with a cue.
Oh, that's a poor
Mistake.
effort at the safety.
Well,
But got second prize.
look, and tied the 5 up, Jim, with the 7, it looks like. I know one thing, Bustamante sure wishes he had that shot back. Cue ball got away from him. Very fortunate here to not leave Team USA a shot.
Well, that was the last thing Rodney wanted to do there. Develop the 5 and the 7. That couldn't have been any worse. And if Boosty can get through to this 3, he
I
might
think
pay
it
for
goes.
it.
I do believe it goes. But if you're really looking at it. You heard Rodney say he was playing safe on the 3. He just hit it too thick. Position not easy here unless he just stops the cue ball. He's drawing it over.
The crowd almost acknowledging every shot.
Oh,
Missed it.
A miss. Now we can really say that the pressure is starting to mount. If Earl Strickland can get in stride, I'll tell you what, he could pump this USA team up. It looks like he's been a little bit down these first few 4 rounds. Seems to not have the spring in his step. Very uncharacteristic of the play in this game, Jim. A lot of unforced errors, missed balls.
And one thing about this final, too, Kim, that was worth noting is there will be no intimidation on either side. These guys believe in their ability, and they believe in their partners.
No doubt about it. This is the best pairing for USA.
And it's 3-2 now. The USA's won the last 2. That one against the Philippine rack.
2 racks to 3.
Trailing 2 racks to 3 and can tie it up when it looked so bleak only 10 minutes ago. There's the shot coming out. See the cue ball in the middle of the table?
Perfect speed on the break. He's got to try and log that into his memory banks.
I heard Rodney say earlier, you got to hit him a little harder. But anytime the cue ball's in the middle of the table, always offers the best chance to get a shot on the object ball. Well, as far as momentum goes, I would have to say that momentum has changed.
It's definitely changed shares, Kim. The Americans, even the look on their faces, they've perked up. They're a lot more upright in their chairs. Strickland isn't even going back to his chair.
Well, usually this team, when you watch them play, they're on 75 RPMs and everybody else is on 33.5. When they start picking the pace up a little bit and walking a little faster, you know that's when they're feeling it. He got away with it, but he sure would have liked to have slid down a little further. Just a least bit of error in your position could cost you, but look at that. What a shot.
They're starting to stroke now. If they hit the zone, they can run away and hide on you.
Yes, and there's no team on planet Earth that can shoot as straight as these two Americans.
The first 3 went to the Philippines. The last 3 to the USA. And it is all square in the World Cup of Pool final. Yeah, the natives are a little restless here in Newport. So many Filipino fans came out to support Reyes and Bustamante. They don't want to go home disappointed.
As you can tell, everybody seems to have their breakdown working good. Little look of disgust here. He must not have a shot on the one. We'll soon find out. Well, and as we've said all week long, that anytime the Asian teams have to push out, they always seem to figure out a way to beat the rest of the world to the shot.
Push me in bagya.
Just discussing where to push to. And Earl and Rodney both know how well these two kick. Kick shots, obviously, when you're contacting the ball off a cushion.
Well, think he'd like to hit it a little better. I'll tell you what, going to the first rail, the in rail, catching the 1 and bouncing it back in the middle of the in rail there and sending the cue ball down behind the 9 is one option.
Well, Kim, let me ask you a question. I mean, that cue ball barely moved. If they didn't like the first shot, how can they possibly like this one?
Well, I think it cleared maybe just enough for him to spin a little English on it, maybe.
Okay. You gonna let him shoot it then?
I mean, that's just common sense. The cue ball might have moved a 32nd of an inch.
He should have just rolled into it and fouled, but it doesn't matter if push-out's a foul anyway. He didn't have to try to tick it like that, but I still believe the shot is 1 rail and hit the high side of the 1 and send the cue ball back down by the 9. Try to cover the 1 with the 8. These guys are masters.
Yeah, he's going the bottom cushion.
Okay, well. But he didn't get a snooker here either, though. Tell you what, usually when they're kicking just 1 rail, there's an awful good chance of the incoming team not having a shot. But let's see what Team USA can do. Well, I don't know if he's playing safe or tried to make it. I couldn't tell you.
I think it was a shot to nothing. I think he tried to make it, but he also knew where he's going to be leaving the cue ball. The only way he's going to leave the 1 is if he jawed it. And thankfully for Earl, he missed it by enough to clear the pocket.
Yeah, the speed looked like, well, if he misses and he misses on the high side, he'll get safe. I think you're exactly right. But I'm not so sure that this is safe. Efren. And that's why it's so crucial playing great players that you must try to hide the object ball, because any shot on the table is on. Bustamante cueing low. Look at that. Look at that cue is touching the felt before he hits it. Don't try that at home unless you're ready to get some new felt. Tremendous cueing ability from Francisco. Hey, what? Efren has left his partner a little funny here. I mean, I believe the shot is no problem, but when you combine that with trying to get position, that, well, he's going to take his time. I don't think Reyes will offer any advice. Just going to try to come out between the 8 and 9, and he hit the 8. I don't think he wanted to do that.
Definitely not, Kim. Now, Efren's going to have to bring something to the table here, and
Jim.
best defense is a good offense.
I've seen him miss probably about 3 of these shots since day one.
He's got to
Throws
try
on the
this
rail
into
and
the
cutting
bottom
down.
right corner.
Speed is imperative for this shot to go. Not this one.
Just got his partner out of the glue.
Tremendous shot-making ability.
At the end of the day, you've still got to knock them in, and that's exactly what Reyes did to keep them on course. 4-3 over the USA. Certainly
Trailing
better
3
than
racks to
Earl. So
4.
a chance here to hold serve, because that's effectively what we have. The teams are on serve right now with the alternating break format. And look at Morris's layout.
As you can see, every time each team is broke, when that cue ball doesn't get kissed and kind of stays towards the center, each time they've had a shot on the object ball.
Shot.
Okay. Very important to keep an angle.
Yeah, just wants to roll through a little here, not much.
Cue ball's going to be close to the rail no matter what.
Or we'll just stay on the left-hand side of the table.
Stay on the rail down there. Yeah.
Okay. Rodney gives him a little advice. I'm sure that
Both of them think very quickly at the pool table.
they really do. It's a rhythmatic game, really, pool is. There's not too many players that play as rhythmatic as these two. Seems like the old saying, you think long and think wrong. They don't ever have to worry about that. Very seldom do they have to call a
That's why
extension.
they're such a formidable pair, Kim.
It's like you said earlier, they've never
Similar
lost together.
styles.
Earl said, just stop it. Don't worry about it. As long as it's out in the middle of the table, I can make it. We really have a match here. This is great stuff.
Just what everybody expected. 4-4. And nobody is going home. This one just starting to get heated up. Confidently, assuredly,
Quiet, please.
to break the balls. Rack 9 of a possible 25. It's a race to 13 for the first ever PartyPoker.com World Cup of Pool title. And another gorgeous break. They're firing rockets at each other right now, Kim.
Well, you have a feeling that, I mean, this is just really some awesome pool, and we've just started. I mean, the feeling is, to me, if one team misses, it could mean the whole thing. I mean, are they ever going to miss, Jim? I've not seen anything
One
like
miss.
this in a while.
One miss from Reyes. The 5, they're on the 4th or 5th rack, I think it was. That's the only one I can think of. Apart from that, it has been flawless.
Well, a little bit of out of line here now.
Yep. Understood.
He doesn't want to run into this 8, that's for sure. Well, excuse me, I guess he does. He's left his partner elevated over the 8 ball. The cue or the finger cannot touch the 8 or it would be a foul. It was mighty tidy right there.
Spectacular pool by both teams.
It really is.
Just around the angles here for Bustamante and back down for the 9. And And it's a 5-4 lead for Team Philippines. One rack clear.
To 5.
And we find ourselves 5-4, finally poised with the USA to break in rack 10.
Will the one come out? Well, it was a good break, but maybe just not hard enough for the one to come back around. He'll have to
Mistake.
find a ball.
I'm out, man.
He'll have to find a ball.
Mistake from Rodney.
Yeah,
Thank
when
you,
try to
Doc.
play safe like that, you must hit that one so thin.
They know they can't afford any.
They haven't been conversing with each other as much as they have in the past matches, Jim. Earl just went and sat down, and Rodney shot that one.
Just ensuring to leave a nice angle from here to the 5 because he's got to get back over for the 6.
Come straight back across. Looks like they're just playing perfect shape every shot.
And when you control the cue ball the way they are, you make the game look considerably easier than it is.
Well, that's what it's all about. Trying to keep that white ball on a string. This was a big game here. They're going to go up 2 games if they can negotiate these last 2 balls. Maybe the outside of that pocket a little bit, Jim.
Not the cleanest pot you'll see from the Magician.
Bustamante to finish this rack off.
And once again, Team Philippines flexing its muscle in this final. 6-4 over Team USA. Just having a quick look at the rack.
Are they going to take another 3-game lead here off of Efraim Reyes' break? Everything is just set up nicely except the deuce that's locked up with a 4-ball. And Jim, I don't know how they're going to get to this one. They're really going to have to put some special stuff on that cue ball to get back there.
Mission impossible, Kim.
Okay, watch him come under the 8 if he's going to try to hit it hard. No, he's elected to play safe.
There's the definition of a safety. Beautifully controlled.
Well, I like this. It's coming up and at least giving Earl some kind
Is that what you want me to do?
of option.
Just go right here. Just go right in between. Just miss the 9 here. Okay. I think that's the shot. A lot of left.
Got to
lot of
miss
left
the
in.
green 6 too.
Yeah, this is a difficult shot, but
Oh,
One that's
just missed the 6.
pretty good.
Come on, baby.
And that's not bad. They might find themselves behind those colors again, but you can't really get a lot tougher, can it?
I don't think so. Look, he's hit it very well. Very well indeed. And I'm not sure. I wonder if that 2 goes over by the 5. I can't tell if the 6 has it.
Well, everyone's just having a look, but I'd be very surprised if he didn't bury that cue ball behind those 3 colors again.
Maybe the 2-4 combination in the side he might have been looking at. Cueing it low. That means he's going back.
Well,
Oh,
then again, he decides to attack. Tried to develop these. I think he tried to flick the 2. Just caught the 4 off the cushion. Now
Gonna
it
be
gets
in
ugly.
serious trouble here. The lockup is on.
Yeah, you're going to need a slide rule to get out of this one. Well, you see Efren Reyes, 52 years of age, celebrated his birthday here in Newport during this event. And he's wearing a very aggressive hat in this final.
Look at this shot. Look at that shot, but it is a foul.
Foul shot. Score in hand.
Cue ball must touch a rail
Yeah,
after contact.
everybody applauding the effort from Rodney Morris there.
I don't know why they cheer for us.
With ball in hand, I think the Americans know they're going to fall 3 back again. Or at least our big favorite to,
Yeah,
given
I
the
find
layout of these remaining 6 colors.
I find it hard to believe, Jim, that they're not going to take these balls on. Everything's in perfect stride. I'll tell you what, this team must have a ridiculously low heartbeat. Okay, here we go. 2 rails out for the 6. Making it look very easy right now is Reyes and Bustamante. Every shot seemingly to be straight in.
They've got that cue ball singing a tune right now.
Oh, they have it. Unbelievable. This is some good stuff here, and Reyes to knock the last ball in.
And with it, a 7-4 lead. Kim once again, 3 in front and threatening to run away and hide on Team USA. 7-4. Winding it
Nice
up.
and quickly, please.
Rack number 12 at 7-4. They caught the Philippines when they took the first 3. Went 3 clear. Now they've got to try and do it again, and they're going to have to push out after that break.
They came up dry.
Push
As far
out
as getting a
goal.
shot the last 2 racks.
This is where Morris is going to be called on very heavily because he has to keep Earl Strickland focused. Don't let him get away. Harness that energy.
Well, I won't believe if Team Philippines doesn't take this shot on, either trying to make it or play some kind of safe. I have to think he's going to try to whack this ball in the corner pocket. Well, it wasn't a very good effort. He moved. And there, he was fortunate. There wasn't a shot left. See Bustamante almost in a crouched position before the cue ball even arrived to hit the 1.
But again, the 1 is run on, so much so that
Some quiet down then, please.
no shot on offer for the Rocket, and that just means safety and containment.
Well,
We shoot the combo over. Huh? Let's do whatever. Get them ball in hand.
Combination is
oh, did you hear what that just happened there?
act of a desperate man.
Oh, that was amazing. Earl, Rodney, ask Earl, what do you want me to do? Earl says, whatever, and Rodney says, you want me to give them all in hand? And then shoots a very nice shot with a little kiss and help from a color out in the middle of the table.
There's a long ways to go in this one,
Cheer for me everywhere.
but it sounds like there may be a little dissension in the ranks over there on Team USA, Kim.
Well, it sounded that way, but One little spark is all it takes. Players all their lives have been playing by themselves out there, and it's very difficult. You have to rely on somebody else, but this pair has never lost. I have to think that they rely on each other heavily, trying to put the one behind the two, just to roll it up real softly.
Oh, you're putting a lot of faith in the table here. I don't like this shot at all. At all.
Ball curved.
Check if it's frozen.
And if he hasn't left this, he's lucky.
Frozen ball.
I don't think Francisco can quite see enough of this one. He may have to just swerve it. I mean, Earl actually got quite fortunate there.
Ephraim coming down to take a bird's eye view of it, and he just looks at it and laughs. So, I don't know, is there some kind of English they can use?
Oh, he could. I thought he was frozen on the two.
But look here, this, no easy shot. He'll have to cut the paint off this two if he expects to run it down the rail.
But can he come into the 6 and the 3? Cut this in, take the cue ball into the 6 and 3.
What a shot it would be just to make this shot.
He's missed it. He hit
he's
it
missed
way
it.
too thick.
Tell you what, he's going to get a roll or he's not going to get a roll. I can't tell.
Some quiet little shot, please.
Well, Jim, can he see that two ball?
You can definitely see it, but I'm not sure where the 3 is available.
That shot there that Ephraim hit, had to be awful thin. Well, there it is. Tell you what, he might be able to shoot the 2 and hit the 9 ball with the cue. Stop it right there.
That's the shot, Kim. But if you don't hit the 9 flush and stay there, if you float over to the left, you could snooker yourself on the 3.
He has to hit it flush. That's the shot.
Beautiful shot.
Earl has to. Earl's dropped his cue. That's just phenomenal stuff from that man. Being able to get up out of the chair like that after what they've been through and just fire that in like it was a BB.
Well, he gives you the impression that he's just thrown the towel in and even listening to him.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Let's listen to him give commentary.
What do I do now? I should try to run into it.
Yeah, let's go around the 8. Try to come back around.
Well, I'm going to hit it. I got to run into it.
It's fine.
Might as well use my timeout.
Tension called.
45-second shot clock here in Newport. Each team allowed one extension of 45 seconds per rack. He's got to miss the 8.
Oh,
No, he
perfect
clipped
shot.
the 8, but that
Stop
might be okay. Well, then again, it might not.
Well, didn't he say I'm going to run into it? Didn't he call that shot? Or well, he just has to thin the 7 and go back and try to snooker it behind the 9. Now, it'll be a shot from the Philippines, just hitting the rail and trying to snip the 7 back underneath the 8.
7-4 the score in favor of the Philippine team.
Tit for tat.
And the chess game has started
Great
here.
shot on that 3. 3 people clap. He made a straight in. Everybody clapped.
Don't know if you want to play chess with Reyes.
Needs to bounce off the rail. You know, you start playing chess with
Everybody clapped.
these two Filipino players, you're in serious trouble. You'll be checkmate almost every time. What is he going to do?
Like I said, stay away from the chess games with that man.
You can bet that that's exactly his intent.
Settle down, please. Settle down.
Fantastic shot by Reyes. And Bustamante knocks in the 8 to allow the magician the opportunity to convert it.
Tell you what, Jim, a great player that helps his team is more valuable than a great player.
A4. The score line here in Newport. Team Philippines now 4 clear of Team USA.
Bustamante has broke the balls. Brilliant in this final match. And that's the worst one of them all. Still a ball down, but he lost his cue ball to the side rail. And after what I just seen, this here should be no problem for Reyes to thin cut in the corner.
Well, if he knocks this in, he's going to finish on the 2. The 2 looks to be available to the same pocket.
He might shoot this one-handed. I'm not lying. And he did shoot it one-handed. Now, you ask me what that is. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll tell you something. Sometimes you can get lower. When you just drop your other hand to the knee, you can get lower and more comfortable.
Can you make this?
Settle down then.
With left English?
That's left.
Yes, you can.
Yeah? You want to shoot? Can you shoot? You know how to shoot this good?
You can shoot.
Oh, because I don't shoot it good. That's why it's bang.
Shoot it with your feet.
You just
Stop the
heard
clock.
Strickland.
Stop the clock. Thank you very much. And on the shot, nice and quiet, please. Respect to both teams. Start the clock.
Well, the 1 left. And you can see where the 2 is, tucked right up beside the 4. Boosty can get the other side of it.
Well, it's not looking good for Team USA.
You know, is it possible Reyes could be playing a little bit of a mind game with Strickland?
Well, maybe because Earl has seemed to be unnerved a little bit. This is not a very good shot here. He's not left at that good of angle. Bustamante, a power player. I'm sure he'll hit this with warp speed to try to bounce off the rail. We've seen a host of these balls come out of the pocket. Not that one.
I think you've got to move the table back after that one. Pounded that one in. And Reyes is going to have to feather this in and stay on the right-hand side for the 5. Very missable.
Watch the 7. Is he going to miss the 7? No, he snipped it, but I believe that was played. He just snips that side of it. Automatically has to run down there to the 5. Going this team's way, but they've made it happen with some unbelievable shot making and kicking ability. Jim, in the game of 9-ball, you have to touch all bases. You have to have every shot in your arsenal to play championship 9-ball.
Well, I always learned that you had to accept defeat before you could ever learn how to win.
Well, nobody other than Jack Nicklaus, I think, is such a gracious loser.
This 9 to extend the lead to 5 racks, 9-4, and the crowd tells you everything you need to know about proceedings here in Newport. Earl doesn't really have it together at all, does he, Kim?
No, and I think it's kind of maybe carried over a little bit into Rodney's play here. You know, they can be such a dynamite powerhouse team when everything's working together, but things has gone sideways a little bit, so.
But Kim, we've seen this before with him. I mean, don't be fooled. He can lull you into thinking he's thrown in the towel, and just like that, he'll pounce on you again.
Well, there's no doubt about it. That's just, that's Earl Strickland. That's the way he is, and
that's the makeup of the man. He lives on the edge. He is brilliant, but he is volatile and he is fragile.
I think you summed it up, Jim. But a great player. Cannot take that away from him.
Very quickly, the top seeds send the Americans back in after the push out. 9-4 the score. Doesn't want the it is all going horribly wrong for Team USA right now, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of conversation between these two.
Settle.
Well, Kim, I've got a feeling that Earl might even be taking Rodney Morris out of sync a little bit. Beautiful when it's working.
Well, right now what is working is Team Philippine inching closer and closer to the trophy and the title of the World Cup of Pool. I think they've already smelled the blood.
Just a stop shot. Obviously, Efren feeling like this 5 is available from roughly where Francisco just showed you on the table. They almost just outcool you, too. You never see any negative body language. No sign of emotion from them. They're so gifted.
Well, there's no doubt about that. We have seen a few teams get them a little unnerved, though, on their way to this final match.
They always seem to pull it together.
I think it's just a matter of how long can you go before you make a mistake. Can you go as long as they can go?
Well, he's got a little angle on this. I think he may have to try and, if he can't force this through, so I think he can get to where Efren's saying. Just follow through with a bit of right-hand spin. Won't have to thump it too hard. He can let the spin move the cue ball. I mean, he's already had a look at the bank.
Cold.
You could softly roll it in and leave an easy bank on the 7. Just preference here.
Well, I don't think there'll be much problem here. They've got it dialed in right now. Little slider down in the corner.
On each one of these balls that depart the surface.
Team USA sitting in the electric chair.
It's like another dart heading over toward the Americans. 10-4. Is it over and out?
Leading 10 racks to 4.
Just over an hour
Settle down, please.
of scintillating pool. On exhibition here, the Philippines orchestrating a symphony. The wands in their hands. And they're weaving something special here in Newport. The stuff that memories are made of, Kim, this one.
There's no doubt about it. Let's see this brilliant shape shot that he has in mind here. Well, maybe not quite what he would like, but I'm sure Reyes can handle it. What is he going to do here? Back and forth, back and forth. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Perfect 10.
Phenomenal.
Well, right now, it's all about Team Philippines.
You run out of superlatives when you watch these guys play.
This is great stuff. It's pool, Jim, but not as we know it.
Yes, it just keeps going, doesn't it? The Filipino snowball is rolling down the hill, and it is unstoppable. 11-4 over USA.
Ready to break. Trailing 4 racks to 11.
11-4, the score. Coming to you from the Newport Center. Team USA in as much trouble as imaginable.
Nice, easy out.
The applause from the combination. Earl plugging his ears. He doesn't even want to know about it.
I think it looks like to me that very difficult here. He's going to have to go rail first.
And he played it right-handed.
I'm just wondering, after this onslaught
And
by Team Philippines, can USA run this rack?
going to come with a shot here because the 4 does not pass. It's going to have to be another combination. 4 to the 8 to continue.
Rodney's elevated, it looks like, over the 5. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse.
Great shot from Morris. But it's just not happening in the final for the Americans.
Shot.
No.
Well, just a setup for one more great shot from this Philippine team.
These guys are the luckiest players I've ever seen. They're not that good. They're lucky guys.
Earl thinks they're not that good, Kim, just lucky. Well, I'll
Well,
tell you what, the better you...
Settle down then.
I really don't think he's in his right mind when he's saying that, to be honest with you.
I'll never forget the most famous Gary Player line in golf coming off Wentworth. In an event played there, I think he shot about a 64. The reporter said to him, "Mr. Player, don't you think that was a very lucky round?" He said, "Yeah, it's a funny thing. The more I practice, the luckier I get."
That's correct. We've seen just a montage of great shots from this Filipino team.
Luckiest pool players I ever seen.
This is Earl Strickland. This is why people come to watch him play. Whether it right, whether it wrong, or indifferent. Like you said, that's
None of the
just the
Filipinos
makeup.
too. I make a great shot.
Well, he walks a tight wire, doesn't he? Trying to keep his emotions in check. 11-5, the Philippines.
America's a fourth world country.
5. Quiet as you can now, please.
It's an 11-5 lead for Team Philippines.
Bustamante has been breaking the balls. Excellent. Final match. There, he kind of just guided that ball just to make sure he doesn't scratch.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Well, Earl Strickland is really wearing this one right in the chops, isn't he? I mean, he's taking this one in the jaw. But Bustamante and Reyes have heard it all before. They've played Earl enough times. Probably nobody in Asia has played Earl more than that man. And the man that you really have to feel for right now is Rodney, because he needs a partner, and his partner apparently is losing it.
Well, Rodney here has to try to muster up a hit on this ball. If he can put it together. 2 rails.
Foul shot. Ball in hand. Left.
The 2-5 combination offered here. Got to be difficult for the Rocket. He's one of the real nice guys on tour, believe me. You'd have trouble meeting a more affable guy than Rodney Morris.
And that's why it's not hard for me to understand. They're great players, but they're such total personalities. Rodney, easygoing, likable, and Earl is volatile, as we all know. I think their reign as never losing in a doubles match has just come to an end here in Newport, South Wales.
But you still have to, with somebody like Earl Strickland, though, you can't deny the ability, the talent, and when it's flying, I mean, you've got to have him on your side, don't you? You'd rather have him on your side than against you, Kim.
No doubt about it. But what I'm going to take away from this is, if one or two things go wrong, it looks like it just blows up, and like you said, it just kind of carried over with Rodney, and the whole team seemed to just have no more morale. But anyway, back to this team that has played a near flawless match.
There's really, when you think about it, there's only one worse position than Rodney Morris's chair right now, and that's the one beside Earl on the flight home.
Well, I must say you're pretty right about that, Jim.
Great shot from Bustamante again. Beautiful.
Okay. 3 rails around for the 9-ball.
And a little short of pace. I think Francisco's going to have to bank this.
Oh, not a chance. That'll be a
cut in, bottom right.
Thin razor cut.
Oh, it looks a lot. You see it from that angle.
Yeah, it did look a lot different, yeah.
Can't see him doing anything else.
Players really like to cut balls. They really rarely bank them, but if they have to cut them, they can do that.
They sure can. And on the hill, Team Philippines, 12-5. A systematic demolition of Team USA.
He'll take no time in getting these balls broke.
Lost the cue ball. Followed through with it, even though...
Well, yeah, you're right. He did follow through with it. And one has to wonder, was that his last turn at the table in this first World Cup of pool?
You see Rodney shaking his head in the back, too. I mean, there's no quit in Rodney, not at all.
I guess he's just going to lay it on the rail and let Team Philippines take the reign.
Not something you want to come to the table. I have to look at, is it?
No, but when you have a lead that's virtually impossible to catch, I would say he'll take a good whack at it.
That's safe. Other than the 1-7 combination.
Oh, man. I can't either.
Well,
He can make that one.
I think this should be
He can make that one.
it. I have to think that Team Philippines would like to end it right here, and I'm sure that Team USA wants to get out of that hot seat.
Great shot by Reyes.
Earl is untaping right now as we speak. You can see him there in the background.
I think this is the beginning of the end as far as Team USA's run in this event. One hurdle short.
I'm just not so sure that any team could have tackled this Team Filipino team right here this particular night. They've played superb 9-ball.
I agree, Kim. I don't think anybody could have withstood the barrage of shot making and kicking. It was an artistic display of pool wizardry here exhibited by the Philippine team. They came in here as the team to beat, and they're leaving as the team to beat.
Jim, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure working with you. You made things easy for me.
Right back at you, Kim. Francisco for the final 9, a resounding victory. The Filipinos here raise their arms and everybody salutes the World Cup of Pool Champions, Team Philippines. Without doubt, the best two-man team on the planet. Efren Reyes and Francisco Bustamante, this is your night. The first ever PartyPoker.com World Cup of Pool heads to the Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible final. And now the presentation. Would you please welcome the chairman of Matchroom Sport, Mr. Barry Hearn. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation to our runners-up. Team USA, Rodney Morris and Earl Strickland.